I am so upset that the things we did and the things we fought for and the boys that died for it, it's all gone down the drain. Our country's gone to hell in a handbasket. We haven't got the country we had when I was raised. Not at all. Nobody will have the fun I had. Nobody will have the opportunity I had. It's just not the same. And that's not what I was. That's not what they died for. It's just not it. Just takes me time to get over it. Because why me sitting here like this? See?
How did we get here? How did we get here? What in the Alice in Wonderland nightmares is going on right now?
All I can say is how dare you?
If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, you.
I've never in my life seen anyone as cruel, rude, mean, vindictive, vengeful, hateful as Donald Trump is. My name is Janet. I live in a little town of Byron, Georgia. I thought in 2016 when I voted for Donald Trump that I voted for the lesser of the two evils. From the insurrection that he directly caused with his rhetoric in his mouth and inciting the people into doing what they did to our nation's capital is just beyond imagination. The sexual assault, and let's call it rape because that's what it was, to inflating property values to get better loan interest rates, to sharing our classified documents to anybody that wanted to look at them and brag about it. And his friendship with communist leaders is just unthinkable. Presidents are not supposed to do that. They're supposed to be for the country they represent. And I've been here almost 70 years, and I've never in my life seen anyone as cruel, rude, mean, vindictive, vengeful, hateful as Donald Trump is. Everything he says has to be fact-checked because 95% of the time or more, it is untrue. And the childish name calling. We do not need Donald Trump in the White House. There is no telling what he is capable of.
I will never, ever vote for another Republican in my life until they come on and rebuke Trump and everything that has gone on. It just disgusts me. I would vote for Mickey Mouse before I voted for Trump. My name is Elizabeth. I live in Texas. I voted for Trump the first time. For the Republican Party to move forward and to believe that, all of this is okay. Everything, all the criminal action, believing that the vote was stolen, it even sickens me more. I will never, ever vote for another Republican in my life until they come on and rebuke Trump and everything that has gone on. He definitely wants to be a dictator. He is a coward, and I just can't believe that all of his lies, that people do not see that. I just don't understand it.
The America people believed in feels like it's slipping away, and more Americans are saying the same thing. This is not the country that you used to know, and many don't think it's coming back. Under President Trump leadership, what was promised as America First is now being felt very different. A rising cost, global tensions, and growing uncertainty about the future. So the question millions are asking now is, what exactly has America become? Let's have a look.
The damage that Donald Trump has done to this country, in so many ways, it is never going to be repaired. It's broken now beyond fixing. Donald Trump has shifted the entire world order. He has alienated us from all of our allies. He has made us a global pariah. And all that Donald Trump has done, and we're only a year and a half in, it's going to get a lot worse from here, is pushed everybody in the rest of the world closer to China. China was always projected to eventually take over as the world superpower. But Donald Donald Trump put his foot on the gas and he accelerated that. We will no longer to be able to recover after Donald Trump is gone. Even if we're lucky enough to get out of this mess in 2028, the rest of the world isn't coming back to us. Things are just not going to be the same. Forever and always, Donald Trump, on the year of the 250th birthday, has put the rise of the American empire to a permanent end. We will never, as a country, recover to the damage that Donald Trump has done to us. And we have no one to blame but ourselves for not punishing this man for January 6th and for allowing this insurrectionist scumbag back into the Oval Office.
Racism is a mental disease, and I wish they would study it as such in the United States. A woman took to social media and said, President Trump might be the most corrupt president the U.S. has ever seen, but I don't care as long as he's going after black and brown people. Do you understand that the United States doesn't have universal health care not because it's expensive, but because of eugenics? They believed that black people's genes were inferior, and if you denied them medical attention, all black people would die off in the United States. That was the goal, actually. So there couldn't be universal health care because they wanted the blacks to die off, especially now that they couldn't be slaves anymore. It's expensive. Racism is expensive because now we can't have universal education because a guy who created the SAT, you can look this up, felt there were too many people of color and too many immigrants getting into colleges. So he created a test that was extremely esoteric with answers only people in a certain learning environment and a certain lifestyle could answer, thus making it so that less foreigners and people of color could get into college. Weird, right? So you can't have free college because then black people would have access to it. And it doesn't stop there. Even when it comes to government assistance, there was a time they led white people to believe that they were getting government aid, but black people were getting welfare. Those welfare queens over there versus you who's getting government assistance. They actually led them to believe that there were two different systems of aid, one for black people, one for white people. And not understanding, it's like Obamacare versus ACA. They are the same thing. But they don't understand that because they use this rhetoric to make it sound different. And now they keep making cuts to welfare, which is now affecting the other people who thought that they were on government assistance, government aid. It's extremely expensive to be racist. And if they don't see that it's having a negative impact on their life and affecting their life from being better, then something is fundamentally wrong with them, which is why I'm saying racism must be a mental disease. You can't be okay with watching your own children suffer just to know that another person of color that you don't know is suffering. That makes no sense. Something's wrong with you. And I'm not going to say it's like depression or something like that, but there is something wrong with you if you are a heavy racist person. Something is amiss. And I know people are going to get into comments and say, oh, that I'm being ridiculous and I'm being mean and I'm being nasty, but it concerns me that people are okay knowing that their child won't have proper health care just to ensure that black people don't get it. That makes no sense to me. I don't care if my enemy has what I have as long as I'm get well taken care of. I don't care if you have it. That kind of makes sense. I'm doing better. That's what's more important here. So this is my soapbox. Y'all have a great day.
Here's something that a lot of Americans are going to have a hard time accepting and understanding. Donald Trump has destroyed America. America is over, at least as we remember and understand it. The United States as a country will continue to exist, but it'll be different. All of us have grown up in a world where America was the dominant global superpower. We were the leading light of democratic nations. Our president was the leader of the free world. Our currency was a global reserve currency. And this doesn't really come from any sort of formal designation. I mean, we're very rich and powerful, but it came from a general belief that we were the leading country. And that's gone now. It's been destroyed. It took Donald Trump less than 100 days to destroy it. The coalition of nations that formed around us because we were a powerful democracy and treat us as their leader, they're breaking away. Even Canada has broken away from us. Europe has broken away from us. We appear to be most friendly with dictatorships like Russia. They're small and weak and poor. It's ironic given how people treated Biden's presidency as unendurable, but I think we'll look back to it as the last moment that America was the America we grew up in. Nobody trusts us now. They look at us as unstable, as potentially corrupt, as unwilling to follow the rules that govern ourselves, much less everyone else. They look at us as dangerous. We could turn on them, impose tariffs. We could even attack them militarily, even our allies. We could try to annex their territories. No one has any reason to think of us as anything but a potential threat. America derived a lot of its authority from its reputation as the world's intellectual center, the center of all of the leading universities, the companies where people did research, where people changed the world. But Donald Trump is destroying those universities. He's destroying our medical research, our scientific research, our technical research. Those people are leaving the country. They're going somewhere else. And so the world's going to leave us behind. Why wouldn't they? We're a nation where our leader just yammers on and on about how America is going to bully everyone into line, but they don't want to work with us. They want to leave us to rot and look after themselves. As an American, it's incredibly depressing because it all happened for nothing. It's because Donald Trump is motivated by nothing but grievance and stupidity. No larger policy objectives was served. This is all about, I guess, punishing trans people and hurting immigrants for no reason other than to see them get hurt. And for that, we've destroyed a country that was a leader among nations in so many ways. We could have led the world, and we did for a long time, but Donald Trump has proven that we can't and we don't deserve to. And each and every one of us is going to pay the price for that eventually.
I'm really starting to think that Trump is purposely trying to destroy the U.S. economy and get America to collapse the way the USSR did, so that him and his billionaire buddies can buy everything up for pennies on the dollar and turn us into a full-blown oligarchy the way Russia did after the USSR collapsed. That's the only thing that makes sense in my brain, because everything that he is doing is isolating America from its allies. He is destroying trade on the world stage with us and all of the people we do trade with. I mean, China's putting exports on restrictions on all of their rare earth exports at this point. There's literally nothing that he's done since he took office that is good for the American people or the American economy. Everything that he has done has been for billionaires and has been at the detriment of the U.S. as a country. Like, our entire workforce is being decimated now as he is sending a whole bunch of people out of the country who used to do jobs like construction and farming. So we're going to have a food shortage because there's not enough people picking the food. We're going to have a worse housing problem because there's not enough people building the houses. And it literally seems like everything that he is doing is just designed to destroy this country. And yet the MAGA people are still licking his boots. It's wild.
When Americans say, this isn't the country we used to know, they are speaking from experience. They are talking about walking into grocery stores and watching prices climb higher and higher, knowing that their paycheck didn't rise with it. They are talking about small businesses struggling to stay open because workers are too afraid to show up, or they simply aren't there anymore. They are talking about farmers watching crops go unharvested, not because there's no demand, but because there's no labor. And here is a bigger picture. America, once known for its strong alliances and global leadership, now finds itself increasingly isolated. Trade wars and aggressive tariffs were meant to strengthen the country, but many economics warn those same tariffs often end up raising costs for American consumers and slowing growth. So while the message was America first for many families, it's starting to feel like America alone. People believed America stood for opportunity, stability, and unity, but people are questioning whether those things still exist in the same way. You have workers afraid to go to their jobs, businesses unsure if they can survive another year, families carrying back on basic needs just to keep up, and across the country, people feel this might not be temporary, and that's where fear really comes in. You can see the frustration in people, you can hear it in interviews, you can feel in the shift happening across social media, across communities, and across the country. Even people who once supported Trump are questioning why the costs are too high, asking, was this a plan? Was this a promise? And most importantly, was it worth it? Everyone is worried if this is the beginning of a new version of America entirely, because history shows that nations don't just collapse overnight. They change gradually, piece by piece, decision by decision, and often people only realize how much has changed when they finally stop and look around and barely recognize what's left. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.